Recording in progress. We're doing it. Ooh.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to season 4 of Barely Christian. We really made it to season 4. That's
Man, oh, baby, make that drop it to the flow.
give it up. Nah, we made it to season 4. Welcome to season 4 of Barely Christian, where two friends talk about one faith. I'm Curtis. This my bestie May. I always wonder if when I be doing this, if your head is really in the middle. I'm not sure, but boop. And yeah, here we go. Y'all know how we do. We talk, we keep it real. We talk about God, we talk about ourselves, we talk about. And so, May, is there anything you wanted to talk about today?
No, I was kind of just like you
Welcome to
do.
Barely Christian. We said we keep it real.
Curtis
No,
changed our day to Friday. I mean to Sunday.
to Sunday.
And I normally like to go to church at least the first Sunday. I always go the first Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Today, first Sunday, guys. So I did go to church today.
Oh, wait. I can't wait till we're going to get to a point of our career on this podcast where, you know how, like, you say something and then something else happens?
Yeah.
For season 4, I want y'all to pay attention to how many times May says, I really have nothing to say.
But then
Tells a
Matt,
story.
that's
It's
one.
one of my favorite qualities of ours. She's like, I have nothing to say, but I do go to church every first Sunday.
I have. You guys
I
know
love
me.
it. Go. So how was church?
Church was awesome.
Do you want to say what church you go to?
Go to First Corinthians Baptist Church in
Mad
Harlem.
people go there. I know somebody watching there go there. I
That
know it.
the church is humongous
It
and it's
is the
always
church.
at capacity and it's
Yeah,
always
that is the church. Shout out to TBC.
it's such a good church. It's such an but anyway, I went this morning. It was such a good service. My takeaways are the pastor talks about Pastor Mike, shout out to Pastor Mike. He talks about Matthew 5, the end. I think it's Matthew 5, verse 43 to 48. So like the end of Matthew. And anybody who's familiar with Matthew is basically Jesus telling getting us together, basically. Matthew is Jesus actually speaking, telling us what we should and should not do, how we should live if we want to be like him. So basically in that verse, he was saying, or those verses, he was saying to love your neighbor, love yourself, right? But he also kind of broke it down like love your people, like love everybody around you, but love everybody, right? So
Mm-hmm.
back the pastor talks about Leviticus 19, right? And in Leviticus 19, they basically say, love your people, like love. We got to get the wording, the verbiage. Sorry, guys, but love your people, right? So like your family, the people you're born into, the people around you, like respect them, honor them, blah blah. Didn't really talk too much about enemies and the people that. So now, fast forward in Matthew 5, Jesus is like, love everybody and your enemies. And then he even got us together. Like, it's easy to, I'm paraphrasing, it's easy to love your people that love you. We talked about this before, I think, on the podcast before. Like, when somebody love you, like me and Curtis, it's so easy to love Curtis because Curtis loves me. Me and Curtis, we reciprocate the love is back and forth.
Yeah.
The people who don't necessarily love me, don't show me that they love me or have a hard time at whether they're family or not, it's hard for me to still extend love in my heart for them people because it's like they don't reciprocate it, right? So
Right.
it's like it's easy to love people that love you. He's like even taxpayers do that. So he mentioned taxpayers because the pastor said, basically, like, back then, you know, taxpayers is like bill collectors, almost the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even the
Yeah.
people who can't stand love the people that love them, right? So it's like, it's easy, but it's hard to love your enemies. And so Jesus is basically uh, saying the opposite of what was being said in the Old Testament in Leviticus. Like, love and honor your people. Yeah, but
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that's the part that Christians can't get with, you know, and it's part of the reason why they crucified Jesus, because they didn't want to get with his way of thinking or his way of teaching. And
Yeah.
to this day and age, it makes it more relevant with what we're going through today, you know,
Mhm.
with everything, like, you know,
Yeah. Disagreeing, just disagreeing. Yeah.
disagreement in the world and politics and all types of stuff. You know, people are just not agreeing, not loving, not caring, not being generous, not doing the things that Jesus told us to do. So
Yeah.
kind of got that together, broke us down with that, and got us together on that. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
what I've been saying. I always say that, not to sound like, you know, I always
I'm
say
a
that.
pastor.
I feel that a lot, and I like to practice. I told Curtis before we even got on here that I like to read out of the Gospels because I like to hear what Jesus had to say, and I like to
Yeah.
know what Jesus had to say, because a lot of the Old Testament is kind of, you know,
Yeah.
it's a whole new world, and I think I want us to realize that it's more to just loving your people and loving the things that are good to you. It's important to love.
Yeah, mad stuff.
Matt
Yeah, the Old Testament gives religion, while like everything else, the New Testament gives relationship.
said it. You said it. That's it. We
And
can
people,
we can end the episode.
I mean, that's why we have so many disagreements with elders around the church and around God and around Jesus and around just things,
The
because
Bible.
the Bible, period, because they've been raised off of religion, and religion as a practice and not relationship. And I'm gonna share a story. Is there something else I want to say though that you said? Um, Something you said also. I don't know where it is in the Bible. As Pastor Torre always says, read your Bible, you will find it. But there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about if you have a dinner, like if you're gonna have a dinner party or something, like invite people who are poor or like who can't get back to you.
That's in Proverbs. I do
I love
remember.
that one. I love
Yeah.
that because going back to what you were saying, like how the Bible relates to the present world, it's like we live in this validation world and with Instagram and things, and you didn't like this, and you didn't do this, and I didn't do this. And so because you didn't like, or because you didn't share, or because you didn't comment, people are under the influence that you don't care about them, or you don't care about what they're doing. That's not how that works. That's why it's important to have relationship with people so you can recognize that support comes in many forms. But
Yeah.
it's also, to your point, it is easy to support people
Who
who
support you?
always support you. It is a little harder to support people who may not be able to return the favor in the same way or bring the wine to the dinner, right? Because we, as Black people, right.
Reciprocity is a big thing with
Yeah,
like
because as Black people, you know, we're
right.
raised. You don't go to, as Black people, we're raised. You don't go to nobody's house unless you bring something.
Right.
But it's like everyone can't bring something, but they're also still happy to be there. They're still honor. They still honor your space. They'll still take off their shoes at the door if they need to. So it's all these like references to that. But to your point about Old Testament versus New Testament, religion versus relationship, and also forgiveness and reciprocity. I'm going to tell a little bit of my parents' business, but recently, so my bonus mom, I think I've shared, Jehovah's Witness, and so we've talked about um, if those who have passed can communicate. And in the past, my bonus mom has shared that she doesn't believe that the word says, and she believes that the dead is not conscious, right? And I've explained to her, like, I'm not really too worried about the consciousness versus the non-consciousness, but I know that in my own personal journey of grief, my parents 1000% talk to me. Like today, I was coming from the market and I literally saw a butterfly and a cardinal at the same time. And the cardinal is my dad. Like he's been showing up as the cardinal, and the butterfly has always been my mom. So like you can't tell me the that good feeling I get in my body.
Yeah.
It's not someone I love, and and she was not trying to, but I'm just saying, anyone, don't ever let anyone take you from that feeling that you feel. And I don't know the name of it, but I'm sure there's a science word for it. But anyway, so she's on a cruise right now, and she said the other day, she was just like getting herself ready for the day, and she said, my family name is Pop, and she was saying, Pop, we spoke about it before, I don't think that the dead is conscious or whatever, but she said, there is a part of me that feels like I heard your daddy say, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, I believe that.
Like you,
And
her ear.
like she could just like, it would be, how it would be. Like if she was just like, I heard him say it. And shout out to God for giving me the words then, because this time when we spoke about it, I said, I know that you have shared that you believe that the dead is, not conscious of things and stuff, but we also need to recognize we can't just keep saying God is good and God is capable of so much and not think that God is capable of taking the voice of those we love. Yeah. Even if we just, if we have different definitions or whatever, could it be easier for you to imagine that God is so good, he could take on the voice of your husband that's no longer here and speak to you? And she was like, yeah. And I could tell it was still, there's still like, I don't know, because it's a new thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also knew like, oh, that feels good to me. Because we also know we got people walking around saying they married to God, they in relationship with God. And shout out to y'all, but yeah. There is also there is definitely a role that God plays in terms of romance and love and relationship, that can feel romantic, especially when you're single. But God is fully aware of the flesh as well, and there are things that we do on this earth, that are actually happening to us. And I'm saying a lot, but I'm not saying it clearly. But those who get it will get it, and those who don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, but all I say is like relationship versus religion is super important, and also forgiveness, right? What if you don't get your apology until after the person has passed?
Well, if
And
they don't get it,
huh?
if they pass, you won't, like, if you want the apology from the person who passed away, physically, you won't get it if they passed away, right?
Yeah. But what if you feel it or hear it spiritually?
Okay.
Can you still accept it?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, is that still a possibility for you? And can you knock religion down to receive that? Or are you just gonna be mad?
Yeah.
Because we got
Yeah.
a lot of mad people walking around.
I mean, yeah, I think you best way. Like, are you gonna knock the religion down so that you can allow yourself to have relationship with spirit? You know, ways like, so saying that, and I'm not trying to combat anybody who feels this way, or even your bonus mom, but saying don't believe that they have the ability. Like, so is that also like saying you don't believe that we're a spirit having a human experience?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I've never asked her that, but yeah.
So like if you believe that somebody's a spirit having a human experience, then there is a space outside of the human realm,
Right.
right? Where's that? And if
But
they're just
that's the religion part, is like they believe there's another space out of the human realm because it's heaven, 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 hell, hell, heaven, 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 heaven. And those, whatever. But like you said, spirit is,
spirit is more than flesh.
and it's more than a location.
Yeah, it's more than a location, and it's more than a realm. It's more than a time frame. It's
I need to
more.
write this down.
It's more than
This is my look.
it's more than
I'm
a realm.
saying it on camera, you guys. This right here. This is where I'm going to write the titles of the episode.
Okay, well, we'll look for the blue book every time. Before we start, actually, I'm going to say, do you have a blue book?
Because the title of this episode is going to be Send Me Your Location.
Send me your location. Dun, dun,
Then
that just reminded me of this quote that I heard. And it says, memories exist outside the space of time, or something like that.
word, shout out to Dance Hall if you were ever at a bashment thing you heard. Memories don't live like people do.
No, they exist outside of
They always remember you, whether things are good or bad.
I love
Remember
that. I love that because that's true. It's like
some of you have a
that's
bashment.
that's how I feel about spirit too.
Yeah.
You know, like it exists outside of time.
Yes, it does. It does. It has to because it feels too good not to.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, guys, so it's like
But
you
also,
have.
yeah,
I like the Sunday mellow vibe. I feel like
I like it too.
Sunday is my favorite day out of the week by far. It's always been my favorite day, and then Thursday is my favorite day, my second day.
Thursday be eating.
Yeah, Thursday's lit, but Sunday is always reset, refocus, have something good to eat, have a good,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sleep in, or if you go to church, whatever. I just recently started going back to church, but before church, it was always like mellow vibes in the house and just gospel
Yeah, I
music,
did laundry today. Mm-hmm.
cook something. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
God ate when He made Sunday because,
That's why he rose on that day.
yeah, He's
He
like,
said, "I know what day I'm about to eat this up."
yeah, He's like, everybody, we're gonna work all throughout the week, and then Sunday we just chill. So I'm
Yeah,
all.
I think. Yeah, I like Sunday. I'm excited to see how um Sunday. I won't say affects, but how
Yeah,
Sunday influences the episodes because I've
I
seen.
was
Yeah.
text me this morning like, oh, we want to still, and I'm like, dang, I'm in church. I kind of felt like I felt convicted a little bit when I got back from church. Like we should still meet and still like keep this thing going. Want
Yeah.
to? It's important.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it on camera, but before we even started this, and I think this is a great episode to say it because it's the first episode of a new season. But when we started, when it was a thought,
Yeah,
we were clear that life would happen. We
yeah,
are realists. I think that's one of the awesome things about our friendship too. I don't know how to like say it for real, but we're just honest with ourselves and like how we feel. Like we're safe spaces. So
yeah,
we knew from the beginning there are going to be days we don't want to record.
yeah,
We
for
knew
sure.
that. And so anytime either of us don't feel like doing it,
Yeah,
it's never friction. We don't argue about that. That's not up for debate
yeah,
because
for sure.
life is
I rather like not rather, but I feel kind of sometimes like I'm arguing with myself or like I'm convicted,
um
like God is saying like, you know what I mean? So like I always kind of keep up with like the commitment because I feel like it is important to always fellowship for God. So it's
Yeah, but
like that.
but
Not really
if
to me part, but the
I
more
was
like
gonna say, but if we shared our text story, like we only talk about God.
literally.
So that's why I'm like, also I'm doing this. We're in partnership with people. We're doing this together, but we're always giving God glory. Like the episode is just icing on the cake. Also, God is not up there going, "Oh, you missed a week."
Yeah, that part.
he's not. He's not.
I
He's not
read
doing that.
that, like how God is, it will meet you. I don't know. Was I reading the Bible? Was I reading the devotional? I was reading something, and I need to start
Mm-hmm.
notes of these things so they just pop up. But it was like God will meet you where you are,
Yeah,
right? And it sounds so like, oh, that sounds so cliche, but like literally sometimes when you are not, like when you don't feel like going to work, or
hmm
or you promise somebody to do something and now today you're like, "Ah, I don't want to do it." It's like God will show up in those places for you. Like, but I feel like it does have to come from a place of you just being honest. Like, yo, God,
I don't want to.
today, like, because it is not the day.
It
Like,
is
I feel
not
like
going down.
those moments when I'm being super honest, like it just happened to me this past week. I was super honest, like, you know what, God, this ain't it. And like pushing me and you setting me up. You preparing the table with me before my enemies and all that good stuff. But this ain't it. Right? Like I remember having a moment and the crying in the closet and the praying. And then it was like it kind of just like brushed off me. Like I didn't feel heavy anymore. Right. And I don't
Yeah,
even know what day it was, but it was some day last week where I was just over it. And I had to have that conversation like, mm-mm.
peace, please. It's raining here.
Hey, well, it needs since I'm over here, it's literally 100 degrees. But
Insane.
I feel like God showed up like, okay, in a calming way, kind of just like, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, you just like, just need to bring it down and realize who's in control of the thing. And once you realize who's in control, then you can realize like, it's
What to
not,
do?
it's not that deep,
Yeah,
right?
it's not that deep.
Like you got it, you know? But I do think being honest and just being like, I can't do this right now, you
Yeah,
know?
and even that, like what you said, everything you said is true because it's like, oh, I can't do it right now because I'm at church, but we also again hold the space for later might work, or like when you got home, you were like, oh, I could do it now. Let's see if
Yeah.
I can. Let me see if my friend want to do it now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like,
and
let's
I'm like,
just a quick,
okay,
just a
yeah,
quickie. Like if we could, like, cause I felt so full off of the word,
yeah.
um, and I felt like it was so simple, but it's so real. Like God,
Wow,
God
this is also reminding me. This is also reminding me so many things. All right, one thing God is telling me: the consistency is important because to some people this is their therapy. And the reason why I say that is because when I was in therapy, I would always have it. Um, I would always schedule it for the top of the week
yeah,
because I would find that I would have therapy like in the middle of the week, and I'm like, dang, the things I'm like anxious about haven't even happened yet. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to go to this family member's house on Saturday and we talking about it on Wednesday. I'm like, I would rather, go like have the top of the week to express how I feel,
get it out.
get the tools that I need, and then Saturday go through it, and then Monday we could recap. So I say that to say like that one, God is saying like this is really therapy for people. We allow people to feel things and see themselves. Um, and this is therapy for us too. But we've said that before, so that's
It's
not new.
also fellowship, and it's also uh some people's church. You know what
Some
I mean?
people church, right?
Some people,
You're the only church some people will you're
yeah,
the only
Bible. Some people will read.
you're the only Bible some people will read, and you are sometimes the only way people will meet God too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people
So
might not ever step foot in a church, but they will really like you.
or just have or just have the confidence to just speak about God freely. Like, you know what I
Period.
mean?
Yeah.
Just feel like,
Even when
oh,
they don't understand.
right. Some
Yeah.
people just, oh, not today. Like, this is a church thing or certain thing. Like, like I feel like we do a good job in our lives with meshing together God and life. You know what I mean?
God life.
It's like our life. Not that we're doing it for the cameras, but like
No, definitely not doing it for the camera.
everything is always about everything is always about God. So it's like sometimes it be feeling like it's about you, but it's that
It's
God.
really never about you.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's all about God. And on that note, God says to end this episode. Thank you for watching. Welcome to season 4. We're going to continue to grow, get better and better and better, and talk.
Yeah.
Have real good stuff. And as always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I've never said that before, but do that.
So hit the
I
is
don't
it
even know if the button's gonna be over there, but there will be a button at the end. I know that for sure.
now? I don't know where it. Click it, like it, share it. Yeah, guys.
Okay.
And what it wait.
Okay, Nene.